If you're in the market for a budget laptop, you're faced with some tough decisions. Balancing a tight budget with a feature set that mostly consists of the necessities isn't easy when you're evaluating a sea of machines that all look more or less the same. So when you come across a standout inexpensive laptop like the Lenovo IdeaPad 314, it's a welcome reprieve. Starting at $500, it leans toward the expensive end of the budget spectrum, but this 15-incher comes packed with just about everything you'd want for a notebook in its price range, including a full HD display, a sturdy chassis, and a comfortable keyboard. The model I reviewed has an 11th generation Intel i5 processor, an Intel Iris Xe, integrated graphics, 12GB DDR4 memory, and a 256GB SSD storage on the inside. Lenovo's IdeaPad series has proven itself of late and can now even be compared to that of Dell's Inspiron series or HP's Pavilion series. The IdeaPad 315 also makes some smart airflow enhancements. Using the Lenovo Vantage app, you can choose among 3 fan speeds that suit your performance needs. The rubber grips found underneath the laptop actually give the laptop an ever so slight airflow boost, since they keep the bottom of the chassis from sitting flush against your desk. The 14 inches Full HD screen is tucked in between 4 narrow-sided bezels that offer some serious screen real estate. The bezels are not as thin as those on, let's say, the XPG Xenia 14, but they're still pretty modern and cool. The IdeaPad also comes with a 720p webcam, complete with its own privacy shutter. When put to use, the IdeaPad can do some really serious stuff. The keyboard is moderately comfortable, with just enough give to make key presses satisfying. The touchpad is responsive, and there's even a fingerprint reader integrated into the power button. Unfortunately, the speakers, located under the touchpad, aren't great. They aren't very loud and give off a hollow sound. You're better off using headphones or an external speaker. Turning to the ports, the IdeaPad 3 features a good selection. On its right side, you'll find an SD card slot and a USB 2.0 port. And on the left side, you'll find a USB 3.0 type of port, an HDMI output, an audio jack, and the power adapter port. There's also an oval-shaped USB-C port here, a cutting-edge jack that still isn't a given on budget laptops. In this case, it's limited to data transfers only and can't handle video output. The 1080p display on the pad is also pretty nice, although not premium. It actually looks pretty sweet and has good viewing angles. This multi-touch function also makes it very sweet when using the touch screen, which I guess you'll probably rarely use. Wouldn't talk much about its battery because this laptop in particular has a poor battery health. It only lasted for about 3 hours when I charged it to 100%. So much for its features. How does it perform when pushed to the limit? For this, first, I tested it out with PC Mark X, and it scored a total of $39.99 for a budget 15 inches PC. This value may not be the true value though, since I was offline when the test was done. One thing I failed to mention is its startup time. It's pretty impressive, booting in only 7 seconds. Coming to the latter part of this video, I tested it out with a few games since this laptop would preferably be the choice of students who might like to perform some light gaming. I first tried it out with MotoGP 2021. It produced an average of 35 FPS. You would probably see it to lag since I screen recorded it, but in reality, it's pretty smooth. Next I played Metro Exodus. It did not perform well on high settings, but after lowering the resolution, everything was settled. Stepping up the game, I benchmarked Far Cry New Dawn on high settings, and it produced about 13 frames per second on the average, meaning it should give you about 25 to 30 FPS with the settings reduced a little bit. Forza Horizon 5 also did great, with an average of 30 FPS on low settings. It was pretty smooth. Finally, the last game I tested was God of War. Unfortunately, this PC couldn't run it very well. It lagged even on low settings. One thing I noticed was that anytime I stress it out with a hard game, it crashes. It did not happen once or twice, but was kinda habitual, so I wouldn't recommend you stress it too much with hardcore games. So what's my final say on this laptop? For the price, this laptop is pretty good and performs well also. This laptop is perfect for school and for office work, but graphic designers on the budget can also get this as well. Well, thanks for watching. Do subscribe and enable notifications. Till we meet again.